Hello and welcome back to the 11th Shopping Spree, the weekly Division 5 Cap Tournament. I'm Snap, and here with me today is Phoenix, and we're going to be starting with some groups.
Hello, everyone.
First teams up is Carmessi Colony versus Irises and Friends. Recognized players, Chimerus, Bees, Orky. Okay, so I know that team. Splat zones, Mako is an especially short range map, so it's going to be interesting to see what kind of team comps these players run. A lot of the time, people aren't as comfortable with weapons such as leader, so that stuff tends to not as dominate as hard. But it's just going to be a question of team comps and who can hold down zone for longer.
Yeah, for sure. I don't know these teams too well myself, but I do know that they are quite aggressive. So it'll be nice to see how they play around these stacks here and just see how they can keep zone down. It's really all to it if you want to win here. So yeah, good luck to everyone. I'm excited to see it.
We're just about to start here. This is best of 3. And there's no splatter color screen, so we will not be seeing any Deco 52s or Sunders, which we would definitely see if screen is allowed. Sunder is unfortunately very dominant in the shopping spree meta, as far as I know. But plan is very important at Mako Mart actually, because the pre-game time is very important for teams to just figure out where they're going, especially with how the stacks play such an important role on this map. If you don't know who's going where, then you could easily just get wiped and just get a 100-0 game. Just because of
especially for lower skilled teams, for sure. That's a big mistake that I've always noticed. It's just you're not holding the stacks right. You're gonna get overwhelmed, and Mako's a very easy map to overwhelm another team on. So you gotta be on your toes defensively.
Yep, especially with the mind games you can play with just all these sharpening weapons that people tend to run. Ow. I'm holding a pencil for educational purposes. Special coordination also tends to play an important role with all the specials you need for retake. If you can't coordinate that, then this can be a very similar map to stuff like Eeltail, where it does seem like it's a lot more open and you can actually do more stuff, but if you aren't careful, it can end up very lockout.
For sure. Completely agree with that.
Alright, let's see this. Matching banners, oh. Or advantage.
Wow, interesting. Okay, like the heavy pick.
Junior comp, and then the other side goes a heavy comp. Both teams open strong, one player immediately rushing for both of their own stacks is going to be a struggle to compete, and the Dread goes down early. Wow. It's going to be a huge problem, but unfortunately, they do lose some players, and then their whole team goes down, leaving for a very early hold for Team Yellow. Hold on.
Yellow team's in a tight spot here. They're all pushed, but Yellow team is in a tight spot here, holding mid. Blue team's really gonna have to put out some more energy here if they want to come back to mid and take control of this zone here.
This pen is taking a dominant spot on the stack.
For sure. They seem like they're definitely trying to get in here. Blue's trying their best. That heavy there on right, along with the Stanford, they're not doing bad, but one goes down.
Does that cancel? That looks like okay. Carmessi Colony, that's the yellow. Carmessi Colony does keep the zone, but Irises and Friends does get a very lucky zone cap, which helps them get more time and calm down a little bit, so they don't have to panic for the zone lead. And they are able to drive out Carmessi. who now has to gather the resources for a retake. And especially with the low amount of retake specials, they really have to rely on the bucket here to hold strikes for any sort of retake, because Zip and Bubble are not going to be doing much for them, and the Junior and Stamper can't get alone on their own. So it's going to be a really uphill struggle for them, as Irises and Friends just continues to put down the pressure with constant well use of their sub-weapons.
Yeah, along with that Reef there, that Reef's been dominating, I've seen. They're coming into the back and just really destroying the integrity they had back there. Just popping it as much as they can. It's really helping them, but they still got to come out with a little stronger if they want to take mid here.
It might be a challenge of just overextending, as they do overextend. Irises and Friends does have a tricky hold to do, but they still manage to get it, and that is a clean game one with a good retake from them and a clear demonstration of what they took advantage of.
Yeah, that was beautiful. It definitely got really close there. As they started to come back, I really enjoyed that. But looks like they just couldn't come out strong enough to tie it up, and that's game.
Now, the question to ask on TC ship shape is, are we going to see a comp switch up? Because especially with their retake struggle on Mako Mart, it's going to be a question of whether they recognize that the retake specials are important for them to succeed on an even more retake heavy map, or they'll just focus more on using their main weapon powers to create openings for themselves.
Yeah, that would be the smart option there. Definitely after what just happened there, they gotta definitely reconsider how they're using their weapons and specials, especially on this this TC ship shape pick. I'm excited to see what they do with the comp they have, or they might switch it, you know? Just depends on how they recognized how they played last game and how they deliver.
Good point. Could be hard to make mid-set adaptations, and often it's better to just stick with what you have and try and do better, rather than trying to swap to something that's theoretically better.
Yeah, 100%. Every time. It's definitely possible, you know, to make that comp switch and dominate with it, but you have to really be able to on the fly think and adapt to the weapon that you've been put on for the switch, and you have to see how the other team's going to respond to that comp switch, because you can't use the information based on the last time of the weapons that they played against you with, you know? It's very different.
Weapons on TC tend to be pretty volatile too, like stuff like Dread and Stamper don't particularly like this mode. With both teams having an equal number of those weapons, I don't think it's going to play too much of a factor, unless one of them chooses something else.
Here we go.
See it. Our Messi and Iris is round 2.
See what we got here. Okay.
It looks like they do switch to the Booyah Stamper for the better retake, but the other team does have the Blaster for tower control, so it's going to be a very interesting match, because the Blaster can abuse the Stamper's slower speed to destroy them. Both teams make very strong openings, but the Colony does not really strongly hold that left side, and unfortunately the other team does take advantage of that and gets one down for them, which gives them a huge opening for the tower to just get pushed as this Reslider comes out and another is forced to jump out. This could be a huge first tower control push for Irises and Friends.
My goodness, that Reef there is definitely holding a lot of space, and it's really hard to respond to because they like to group up. It's definitely keeping them in the back here. We see the dualies pushing up to yellow, taking out that pen. That was very integral to making sure they could keep the push going, because that pen is just dominating right there. Another Reef too.
The Colony is now on a very hard back foot as they struggle to have any members alive to make a significant push. And Iris and Friends just continues to make good uses of their specials, not really staggering or clumping, just making sure they're very spread out. And that looks like it's going to be another knockout.
Wow, very dominant game there from Iris. Iris. I wasn't expecting that. That was very good gameplay on their part, and that those dualies was just dominating that entire time, along with the reef. The reef, they're really good with that, making sure making sure to punish anyone that's grouped up too hard by the tower.
Yeah, it's just a matter of not being staggered and clumped, which they successfully took advantage of. It's a concept that doesn't seem that big, but in maps like these, it's just especially important when you can't really get that lead back.
Really is. Wow. Colony is down 0-2. That is, they played really well though. I'm gonna commend them on that. They played really well. So good job to them, and congrats to Iris for the 0-2.
Yep. Next. Hello, we
Idea.
are back with round two of Shopping Spree. Mako Inc. tournament no, weekly on Sundays. Default time, Div 5 cap.
Hey, here we have more jump versus better than late than never. What do you think about this now?
I think it's going to be a very interesting game. Both teams don't seem that far apart from each other. I know Shades is a decaf player, that's about it. But it'll be a pretty interesting match, I'm sure, especially with the first game taking place on Zone Ship Shape, a very lockout heavy map, and really just depends on how well each team knows how to retake.
Yeah, we've seen a perfect example of that in round one. So definitely hoping that the other teams definitely notice that this is a very lockout heavy map, and then they're gonna have to lay down some very nice offense to keep that tower pushing to make sure they don't get locked out.
Uh-oh, zones.
Okay, so I said tower. I apologize. My brain was on the last round. It zones. It zones.
You
What
got
I
the
say
zone
still
time.
applies though. It's still a lockout heavy map, and you're still gonna have to apply pressure in middle to make sure you
Yep,
don't get locked out.
you gotta play the ship. Can't clump either, otherwise just reflight or exploding.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, clumping. Really hope that doesn't become too much of an issue for either team. Clumping can be very bad, especially with the amount of specials that we've been seeing coming out here, like Reef, for example, just really punishing clumping in specific areas could be detrimental to a team.
Yep, can prove to be a big issue. Zones is a very volatile mode at lower levels where it can just be easy for one team to take the lead and knock it out just because of the retake is just a huge learning curve. So it's going to be interesting to see. It's going to be a good indicator of how evenly matched these teams are.
Yeah, definitely. I heard some advice, and it's when you're playing zones, definitely in lower levels, people who play at a lower level in zones like to just wait for something to happen before they make a play. But you gotta make plays happen if you really want to come out here and best the other team. You can't just sit around waiting for something to happen, or you can get caught off guard and you could lose the entire match from that one mistake.
I'm trying to make a paperclip square. I have 4 paper clips.
Good
Uh,
luck with that. You got to send me a
thanks.
picture of it and put it on the wall.
Put it on the wall. We have a wall.
You got to put it on the wall.
It's like an employee wall, Mako Inc. employee wall of fame.
Yeah, exactly.
I
Square
got you.
paperclip.
Yep. Oh, it's not even a paperclip. What is this? Clothespin. I don't know what I'm saying.
You're good. Don't worry. Let's see. Matt should be up here soon. So just chill out while we'll get this match up.
Get some popcorn. Yeah. That'll be a little bit. I did this before. I can't remember how to do it. Uh, okay, it's good now. We're all good. Stream is saved. Hooray.
You got it?
I think so. I wonder if we're going to see any bow or any unique weapons today. We haven't seen a lot of those recently.
I would love to. I love to see how newer players play around those just really obscure picks. It's always really nice to see.
hmm I mean, probably won't see something like an undercover umbrella, but stuff like dowsers and wellstring could be interesting. Mix things up.
Always. Yeah, for sure.
Watch this. The room's gonna open in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. No. Okay.
On the
All right.
dot.
Oh, it worked.
It worked. On the dot.
Yeah. See? Easy. This is how you make a room open for anyone who's playing Splatoon competitive and gets frustrated with this issue.
You just count it down. Works every time.
Sadly, there is no known way to recover someone's fourth if they are gone. That is known today. The where is your fourth will stay until the end of time in Comp Splatoon.
Always bound to it.
Endless curse. I wonder if people would go back to Splatoon 2 for it.
Oh, for sure. 1 second.
The inclined tri-stringer. A very interesting choice of weapon, as from our streamer here. Really choosing a unique style with his red shirt and open visor, staring us in the soul with his gray eyes to make sure we don't escape out of the Mako Inc. basement. It's a lonely
It's my
life.
first day in the Mako basement. It's pretty dark. Pretty dark down here, but it's
No, they
it's
don't let us
lovely.
have much light. Only turn it on while we're streaming this.
Looking great, Ash. Just looking great.
Both teams got to make their pre-game plan, figure out what comps they're going with, what plan they have to dominate on this very, very not fan-loved map.
Big, huge possibility that they're just evenly matched here, so we could see some pretty intense zone gameplay, or it'll just be one-sided. You know? Here we go.
Okay, we see a Hydra Jr. versus Nautilus Big Stick. Okay, there's the unique weapons I was asking for. Clearly it came to fruition.
Yeah, there they are.
Triple shooter comp with a Hydra. That's gonna be very interesting to watch because we haven't seen a lot of shooters in a long time. Immediately, more jump goes for the. No, more jump. Yeah.
Hey, we see some pretty even picks here. One on each team, just holding down middle, fighting for it.
This is playing the neutral game, but that bubble does help them get the lead. So it's gonna be interesting to see how they will fall back after being on the back foot.
Wow, that Kraken up there really dominating. It's very, very good pick there. Very interesting to see that Kraken come out there. It's working in their favor a lot. They're overwhelming the Nautilus here, we see. They're really just holding down middle here.
Better Late is trying to make an opening for themselves, but they are struggling to get a pick with all of those weapons, just really struggling against the mobility and paint output of the shooters. With especially stuff like the Stamper not having the paint to be able to contest anything with its range. But that Booyah will be able to push out the Hydra on jump, and they will be facing a challenge if the Hydra goes down as their only form of range. But unfortunately, Shades does not get the pick, and it's looking like this is going to be a big struggle if they aren't able to get something going soon. And that looks like a wipe for better for jump.
Wow, that is very interesting. Right, playing the neutral game for the first part of the match, and then just really came and swept that there at the end. That Hydra just dominating the mid there. Zone, they couldn't pressure zone enough and push that Hydra out of that power position there, and it ended up resulting in a loss.
Better late than never indeed demonstrated that it is better to be late than never, as they were never able to get the retake going with no pick to be able to support it, as Jump takes the first game.
Oh, definitely liked seeing those picks that you were talking about. They're very interesting comps from both sides. I'm wondering if they're going to play those again or go back to something they know a lot better. I'm not sure.
Could just be a last minute pickup, so they gotta just go with what worked.
Yeah. Especially on this next one.
Iron Blitz Scorch. Oh. One side is never happy when we play Clam Scorch games, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it to an extent, you know, but part of the game, you just got to get used to it, especially in comp. You gotta be able to play around this, and definitely wanting to see how that Hydra will play if they come out with it again. Very easy to hold down that power back. What do you call the basket? You just call it basket? What do you
Yeah,
call it?
basket.
Just a basket?
Clam basket.
The clam basket. Definitely trying to see if the Hydra can just hold down that clam blast basket if they come out with that pick again.
Yeah.
It'll be pretty good for their team if they come out with that Hydra again, but you know, more picks is always welcome, especially on Scorch.
More Jump looks like they're going to be going into this match with the advantage with the continuation from the previous round and a comp that is just very well suited to deal with Better Late. But since Better Late does have the advantage of them having the Hydra having to approach them, it will most likely enter with a stalemate. So we're going to have to see if we're going to break out of that soon.
Sure, let's see what we got here. Okay. Wow, heavy pick from both sides. That is interesting. They could definitely work around that. That might end up being very neutral here, but let's see how it goes.
You know, especially with the double spotting from Better Late, it looks like they really just accepted that this rig doesn't work, but Shades goes down early to the other heavy, and this looks like they're going to be starting on the back foot again as More Jump is just able to get in there with no mobility. Unfortunately, not really getting that much of a useful bubble, but they are just keeping the pressure on Better Late than ever, who is unfortunately just getting picked left and right, desperately trying to get a hold or some sort of defensive advantage, where the ball isn't making its way into the basket right away, just lengthening their push and really just hoping for a long clam score. And they do open the basket, so we're going to see how well Better Late is going to be able to defend this.
Yeah, we have Better Late on the back end here. They're really close to defending that ball there, just dispositioning it because of that heavy up there, but looks like it wasn't enough, and we have the Kraken just chasing down Shades down in the back. Shades goes down. They're definitely not really holding their own here. They gotta come out with a pick or some specials to push Jump out of their spawn, which we do see a little bit of here, but they still definitely have to take mid if they want to score a ball here.
Better Late does have the fighting power to win this battle, but it's just a matter of are they using the paint to enhance their fighting power, which they are right here. They are getting on an advantage, but unfortunately the heavy does miss the clam score in a panicked attempt to make a comeback, and that will result in them having to make a little bit of a change of plans as they do try and regroup and don't go in for a fast score as they know that the lead will be hard to get. But unfortunately their whole team does go down and they do lose the, I think that was the pity. So now they're in an even worse spot than they would have been if they just tried to build specials.
Yeah, they probably should have took that a little stronger there, going in by themselves. I know it was really painful to see that ball fall off the edge there. They were so close to making that push, but it's not over yet. They're only down by 50, and they could definitely pull out some momentum here and push Jump back for another take at the basket here. Still very neutral here.
And while More Jump isn't really making any sort of aggressive play, they don't really need to with a lead that big, as one clam score won't ruin them. And then another pick from their side. More Jump does have players down, but Better Late isn't really taking advantage because they are unable to. And it just looks like a neutral game with Jump getting closer and closer to the basket, while Better Late has to figure out how to get an opening with their specials.
Yeah, Better Late's very spread out here, and Jump's doing a good job at taking these 2v1s and picking off. Wow! Shade's definitely coming out here trying to get their team back in it. But down to this flat bomb. That's unfortunate.
That's a very neutral trade there. Unfortunately, this does look like Jump will be holding mid for a while longer, as Better Late is struggling to just fight the shooters with that good mobility. No one is getting through this defense by More Jump. And Better Late is fragmenting here as the Kraken comes out, but Bluey tries to get away. Shades goes down, and it looks like it's going to be another score for More Jump, probably successfully keeping their lead, which is going to be a real tough something for Better Late to Swallow as they have to figure out a way to score a bunch of clams or even just focus on stopping this push because this could look like a knockout for more jump. And there it is. It's a
Knockout.
knockout finish.
Man, that's really unfortunate there for Better Late. Jump just completely dominated, especially on that push there where they just pulled out the Kraken and they just completely dominated that side. It's very unfortunate to see. Um, and Better Late definitely held their own for a while there, trying their best, but they just couldn't deliver the ball.
All right. It looks like the next match is already ready for us, so we're gonna get to that real quick. Gonna be what? Slopping Spree versus tell us when we're on. Oh, cool. Hi, we're back.
Hello.
It's S5P squared versus Slopping Spree on Flat Zones Robo. A very interesting map. One of my favorites actually, just because it feels very nice to play on Umbrella.
Yeah. I do like this game mode along with this map. For me personally, it suits very nicely. Definitely suits my playstyle personally.
Now I do know this one of these teams, S5P squared, with Sticker the Umbrella player, who we'll have to see what they're playing because they also do play Blaster. I'm rooting for them guys, but we'll have to see how they do against Slopping Spree, who I've never heard of, but it's okay. I believe in them too.
Slopping Spree, the underdogs here, seed 10 versus the seed 3. Definitely want to see what they can do here. Manage to hold their own on this map here. It's definitely not impossible. This map is very good for beginners, even if they're going against someone who's a little more experienced. I have nothing but faith that they can come out here and show the world what they're made out of.
Yep. I think I've heard of QT before, but that's it.
All right, here we go.
All right, let's see what these comps is. See if they play to their standard. Wiper Mini, haven't seen that in a while. And we go with the classic blaster comp. But it's interesting they switched from 52 to shot blaster core. So we're gonna see how they open. Very aggressive with the pen going for cooler on one side, but the other one does go for immediately aggro opening. So S5P squared will have to balance this out, and they do get a pick, which opens up a whole new side for them as the Zuka comes out and shuts down their pen, as it looks like they're going to be winning this mid fight even without the zone cap. And the bubble does come out prematurely just to defend their lead, or just give them a chance to not be pushed back all the way, because they really do not want to be able to retake on this lockout heavy map. But it does look like S5P squared was not able to secure anything, not even a cap, so they will have to be very careful here not to go down, as with a lead that big for Slopping Spree, it's going to be important that they don't get taken out right away.
Yeah, and Slopping's pen definitely really doing good job there, holding it their own. We see the blaster get picked off there, which could definitely be useful, along with that stamp that they're pulling out there. Could definitely keep their lead they got going for a lot longer.
Oh, it looks like this is not going to be looking good for them, as they do successfully get on their choke. They're going to need a zone cap real quick, or else this is going to be looking bad for S5P squared getting 100 0'd, as the splashdown does come out and they're unable to pick the zone, leading with a knockout for Slopping Spree in the first round.
Wow, that was a really nice gameplay to watch there. The specials were just coming out consistently, giving them a pretty big advantage there on that zone that they had, and they just kept pulling them out and getting those picks one-on-one. We saw with the Wiper and Blaster there, just really doing a good job of holding their own, and it ended up getting them a knockout.
Holding their own really just does appear to be the big thing that did get them the win against S5P squared, as they were able to win the mid fight, but they weren't able to do anything with it, as the zone was not even capped and they didn't have any time to make a comeback in the last few seconds.
Especially that Zuka there. That Zuka was a very good tool to have there, because even with the middle they took, but Zuka just got into their back, just took him down, destroyed him. Got Slopping Spree an opportunity to get their zone back in their control, and they didn't end up getting it taken again.
Yeah. Next we'll be seeing Rainmaker Crop Lake, a very interesting map.
Very interesting.
Both teams seem to rate opening 10, so it won't be that crazy for backlines.
Nah. I think both teams definitely are going to be a lot more equal on this maker pick here. I not 100% sure how SP5 is going to react to the loss that they just took, but maybe a comp switch, maybe not. Guess we'll see.
There might be a comp switch because their backline is on shot right now. It's interesting.
Wow, okay. Very similar. We see the Slosher not get picked again. Very interesting. Okay, both teams coming out strong. Appears that Yellow's
looks like they're going for that early pop, but they don't get it. Thankfully, they had this wall. They're very smart. They won't die to the Rainmaker pop. And the Wiper does go down early, so it looks like S5P squared has locked in. They did get 2 down. And even though their Galdi goes down, they are getting a good push here at the beginning. Unable to get the first check, but as long as they keep it together, this is going to be looking like a good game for them.
Yeah, it's not over yet. Here we see that pen, pretty good spot there, making sure that Maker is very oppressed, but they are getting pushed. We see the Blaster come to save them. Very good teammate there we have.
Yeah. It's just really looking like a very neutral game. Not much has happened, even with the push to the check, as the check hasn't been scored. Neither teams really have an option other than to just get a good displacement and be able to score. But it looks like Slopping Spree is getting pushed back again, and they will be able to get the Rainmaker check. So S5P squared does have the advantage here with the bubble too, enabling them to pop that rain early and get some good points off.
Yeah, that bubble was very good. Good placement there. Uh, it kept slopping from just sweeping them there, and they got the checkpoint pretty much for free. Their whole team was pushing it as hard as they could, and they ended up getting some extra points off of it. So that
Oh,
was really
that's
good for
not
them.
good jump by the blaster to avoid that hammer, but they aren't gonna be able to stop Slopping Spree from getting that checkpoint. And the bubble does come out with the pen going down. No cooler for S5P squared as the splashdown does save them from dying to a very well placed bubble. And they are just fighting for their life, trying to hold on while their teammates do come back. Both teams are now 4-4.
S5 here on a little bit on the back heel, but they're definitely coming back here, pushing up mid, and that triple splash down there, keeping them afloat barely. Also got a pop off there. Their team needs to start coming back together, or S5 might actually be in trouble here.
Yeah, they do. Both teams do have coolers, so they're both looking to make a push, and both blasters are very much poking. That one gets bombed out because Junior goes. But it looks like neither team really wants to risk it to lose their lead. But their blaster does go down, enabling another side as the hammer does come out to try and save them, which also goes down. So it looks like
Ow.
S5T squared is on a huge upper hand. They just have to make a push to go with it, where unfortunately the bubble comes out pretty early.
Slopping had a big opportunity there as S5 was pretty much on the back heel, but it just turns out they couldn't deliver here, and it could be detrimental to the rest of the round, even with the maker in hand. They got to try their best to put out some more offense and just hope that S5 can't hold their own against the things like this stamp here, really oppressing them.
Yeah, it looks like they aren't able to get past those grades just due to how well they're holding them. But Slopping Spree isn't really getting past anything either. Blaster does go down on the left side with the other Blaster picking them off. That's not going to be a good look for them, as they will have to deal with that blast. Another one goes down. The splashdown as well is just going to completely negate that bubble. And maybe the pen, and the pen too. That Blaster just, I think, got a quad. Nice clip, bro.
Wow, that is beautiful.
And another Blaster down.
Wow, I am very impressed here. Now we just gotta hope that they can take advantage of this opportunity that they have there and don't lose to that blaster poking grates down there. Wow,
Oh,
a
and they do get
lead.
the lead.
Oh,
And to the
big
check,
lead.
will
Oh,
they
with the
stop the? They
knockout.
will not stop
Wow.
the rain. Oh, that looks like it's
Wow.
gonna be a big defeat for S5P, or whatever their name is. And they are unable to get a win this set. So that's very unfortunate. But both teams did put up a good fight on that last match.
Yeah,
But that
for
breakaway was
sure.
just huge for Slopping Spree.
That was huge. They took a lot of opportunity off of that run across the grates they had there. I was not expecting them to make it that far. That was very beautiful. Good for them, and definitely SP5 probably was not expecting them to just run that. It went a lot better than they probably could have hoped for it. Good job for both teams there.
Well, it's nice to see some very close games. Very entertaining.
Yeah. Wow. Congrats to both teams. Good effort for everyone here.
I will say it is very easy for us to just look above and say all these mistakes, but it's really hard to realize them in game while you're actively playing.
Yeah, that's why VOD review is definitely very good for a team to just look at the mistakes that happen there and how to fix them in future tournaments to make sure it doesn't happen again.
Yep. Alright, now it's time for our short intermission as we get ready for your brackets, as these teams gotta finish up their groups. We'll see you in a bit.
Goodbye.
back to shopping spree number 11 for the gold bracket of this tournament. The first match that's going to be shown is the Chud Maxers versus Are You Sure on the Splat Zone's Mahi Resort.
I think this is a really interesting matchup because
Oh. Okay. Malevolence versus Pocket Aces. Pocket Aces, they have a strong decaf, and I think they also have a bowl, but I don't know that much about them. And on Splat Zone's Mahi Resort against Malevolence, which is a pretty good team. But yeah, it's gonna be interesting to watch.
yeah, Malevolence runs a faster comp. I know they run an edit and a machine, so it'll be very interesting to see that.
Yeah, we don't see machines very often since the 5-frame nerf.
Yeah, a lot more options are getting more popular, so we'll see if they can prove that maybe machine can be used more in comp.
Yeah. On Mahi though, decaf is gonna be strong, so Malevolence will have to find a way to counter it. Probably with the machine actually, cause the AoE and it's not a fast kill time, but you can just whittle them down and take advantage of the ang lag.
Yeah, that'll definitely be a key matchup to look out for.
We're about to get started, it looks like. So let's see who will win. Machine pump, which personally machine, I used to use it, so I want the machine to win. But who do you think's gonna win, Veggie?
I'm not too sure. I think Malevolence, they might have a reef slider, so that might be a big factor, but I think it's honestly a toss-up. Either team could win here.
Yeah, we do see machine. We do see the decaf.
Oh, and the Dapple immediately flanking. They do get a pick. Two
Oh my.
picks. That is a very strong start from Malevolence.
Yeah, already 3 down on the side of Pocket Aces, who did defeat the C3 team S5P squared in groups. But I did think that something was wrong with the seeding a bit. So I don't know. But
Man, Pocket Aces are just trying to find their way in, but they just can't seem to get past them.
yeah, they're just getting shut down by the machine on that ledge. And they have nothing to go in with, because Bubble is off for a hold, not for going in. They do have Booyah and Reef, but... Oh,
Malevolence does go 2 down, but they are even.
yeah, that Dapples is already behind them. I think they'll be able to get this pick. 1 pick. Will it be 2? Will not be 2, but basically 2.
And even though they do have the penalty, they still have control over the zone.
Yeah, it's gonna be very difficult for Pocket Aces to get back, but the decaf is positioned on right. See if they can get a pick. No one seems to be looking at them, but Trinket, never mind, Trinket's already on them. They
On the
wasted
flank?
it. Yeah. The counter slider comes out and they manage to stay in control.
Oh, when they get the zone back.
Yeah, it seems I spoke too soon.
And the Dapple goes down. That is a very crucial pick, I think. That Dapple was being a real big problem for them.
Yeah, it seems Malevolence is gonna try to retake from right here. They got two members. One of them is down on both sides. It's, oh my goodness, the machine gets another, but they are taken out. And the Dapple.
And they are 2 down.
Slap. That was a good retake.
Yeah, really good job of playing together there. And Dapple seems to be holding space. And they do get a pick. Will they make it 2? And they get the assist there.
Yeah, the Dapple is really like, not saying doing all the work, but they're very useful in this fight. Because whenever they'll go down and they have to be on the defensives, the Dapple is just there. They flank, they get a pick, and then, like, no, one of them always flanks. It's either the machine or the Dapple, but they're just doing so much work right now. And there's one down on both sides. And Booyah comes out.
And they're trying to get a retake here. One jumps out. Will they retake the zone?
The machine finds one, but I think the pro is going to manage to push them out, but not get them. But they still do have lead. That's one thing in this match. Malevolence has a lot of control, and whatever Pocket Aces tries to do, it doesn't go in their favor. It works for a time, but Malevolence is just instantly there to recap the zone. You might even see it here. No, we're not gonna see it here.
And the missiles come out. They choose not to take their plat. But one goes down.
The machine does manage to get the decav on the left. Pops Booyah, but they are now even right now. But they do lose the lead.
Will the Dapple make something happen? Will they jump out? They don't have a lot of time.
Slider battle. The Dapple gets one. They might be able to cap in time. It looks like it.
Oh, but they go down.
Wow.
The Booyah might come out too late. Will they cap?
No, I don't think they have enough time to cap. Maybe with the slider, no.
And Pocket Aces takes that one.
That was a very good game for Pocket Aces. I mean, not at the start, but during the end, they started to like coordinate their pushes, take 2v1s, and that's what led them to win and also handle each of them. Because Malevolence kept getting a bit antsy at the end and going in individually, trying to make something happen. It worked before, but it doesn't seem to be working now.
Yeah, I think Pocket Aces did a really good job of baiting out their specials, so they couldn't really coordinate them well. That really put the nail in the coffin for them.
Yeah, we get to see more of that in the next game, which is DC Ship. Do you think there's going to be any comp changes on this map?
I think that Malevolence we might see a Booyah Pro come out for GG Booyah, but we'll see.
I mean, they already have Machine, but Double Booyah might work even better in that case. From that game, do you think anything different's gonna happen this one? Do you think Pocket Aces will be able to win again?
I think Pocket Aces, they just got caught a little bit off guard by the Dapple, but I think now that they know the kind of fit that the Dapple is, they might be able to try to keep zone better, keep mid better, and try not to get caught up on retake.
Yeah, it seemed like Malevolence's only way of like retaking was one of them was behind. They would just cause havoc in the side of Pocket Aces. So yeah, now that they know it, I think Pocket Aces is gonna make this a 2-game set.
Oh, and we see the V-Dually come out.
Do see Wellstring, the hammer version, which is just, it's gonna be very good for AoE spam on that tower. And we do also see Neo Machine for Trizuka over the GG Booyah. So they must have lots of faith in their Trizukas. Pick it over Booyah on TC. But we'll have to see. One is already down on Malevolence's side, but Cooler does go up.
Oh, and they do get a double, and Malevolence is 3 down.
They're all back though, cause of that Cooler, but the Decav is just gonna try to make something happen. They seem to be wreaking havoc in the base. They do. One is down on both sides. And right now, Malevolence has no specials to retake back in. Now they have Trizuka, but now let's see if it's really better than Booyah on this map. The machine is behind. Not behind anymore. But they were behind the tower, but I don't think it's gonna do anything. They do manage to push them out.
Trying to paint for it, but yeah, how will that change the match? Yeah, it comes out, but they couldn't really get much value from it.
Yeah, now there's 2 down on the side of Pocket Aces. 3 down now. Yeah, this is very back and forth game. The Decav can't really do anything on its own here.
They do have a crab. Will they choose to use it on the flank? And they do.
It seems to be getting lots of value for them right now. They do manage to take lead by just 1 point. But I think that's going to be the death of that push there.
Yeah, it'll be a very hard battle for Pocket Aces to push the tower all the way back there.
I think they can do it with Booyah. Like if they conserve, not Booyah, with Bubble. They conserve resources well, then they can spend it all on that checkpoint, and then they could make it. And I don't know if Malevolence will be able to do it a second time and take back that lead. We do see the bubble coming out, finding one. Trinket's trying, but dead.
Oh, and they go 3 down.
The lead is back in the side of Pocket Aces. And we might even see a knockout here. The Reef comes out, finds no one.
But they're being
6.
encircled.
Yep, 5 will be the end of that push. This will be very hard for Malevolence to now come back from.
And they're trying to make something happen here, but they choose not to use their specials yet.
Yeah, the decav's going on. They might try to go behind from the unsuspecting pro. Or they're gonna get tower. They do find one, but nothing else can be found. It's crab pop style on tower, and this looks to be Malevolence's chance at a retake. Not a retake, a push that might get them over the edge.
Oh, and it's even. Oh my goodness, and that decav really killed their whole team.
Seems I spoke too soon, because I just forgot about that decav.
And the Dooley's behind them. Are they gonna send someone to go fight them, or are they just gonna leave them alone?
Yeah.
If Dooley
They're-
does go down.
Decav and the pro was watching them. And now the Wellstream spamming AoE is gonna get that edit, I think. Never mind. They're the last one here. Hammer comes out, they go get trade. But that will be the end of that push as a wipe is now on the side of Pocket Aces. And they just have to play defensive here and they can make this a 2-game set.
Yeah, they just need to play for life and try to hope that they misuse their special.
Crab does come out early and there is cooler on tower. They do have to push it almost to 0, basically a knockout.
Oh, but they do go 2 down.
Yeah. They do have potentially 3 specials that could force them to move out the tower with the Reef. Booyah. Speaking of Booyah, it's being popped right now. It's not thrown. It is thrown. And that will be game 2, the final game of the set. Pocket Aces was the winner.
Yeah, and I think there you really just see the value of a GG Booyah on your team, especially on tower control.
Yeah, I think if they did not go Zuka machine instead go Booyah machine, they could have stopped pushes earlier and then maybe they could have won.
For both games, very back and forth.
The next game we're going to be seeing is more jump as one of them, and the other one was to be determined, but it's groundbreaking Pop Stars versus It's TV Time, which got second last shopping spree, but I beat them. And groundbreaking Pop Stars is actually seed 1, and the score is now 1-1 right now, so this gives anyone's game. back to shopping spree number 11. This one is round 2 of the golden bracket. We have set zones Ship Cargo Co. And we have Seed 1 versus Seed 2. So this one is going to be a very interesting match.
Yeah, one of them does seem to be a pickup, so the actual team might have a leg up over them, but we'll see how that comes into play during the match.
Yeah, more jump versus groundbreaking pop stars. More jump as a 52 gal main. Seems to be a shot main. Yeah. Yep. We have heavy also, just lots of good weapons. And then groundbreaking pop stars has Explo. Looks to be a shot or dread main. And the when we have, I think, Dapple main. And the last one is a blaster main from what I know. So this one's going to be very interesting to watch.
Yeah, I know Dorado personally, and even though he's picked up Dapple recently, I really don't think that's a reason to be underestimating him. And see how both teams utilize their new members in this match.
Yeah, I mean, Seed 1 versus Seed 2. This seems like it should be the final, but no, it's not even round 2, not even semis.
Yeah, one team will definitely be upset if they go home here.
Which one do you think will win this one?
I think that Seed 1 has probably had a harder road to get here, so I think they might have to use that against the second seed.
Alright, from my experience, I think just because it's a 52 gal player, I've never beat their 52 on more jump, so I'm gonna have to say they're gonna win, but you never know.
And I think I saw a 52 gal last set too, so we might see a 52 on 52 in this game.
Wow, there's only one way to find out. Yeah, 10 star on both 52s. And we're about to see now.
And we only see 152.
Very interesting comp. A Hydra and then 3 shooters. One of them is 52 and the other one is Junior and then Burst Bomb Shot. You don't see Burst Bomb Shot very often, but 52 is doing 52 things, already getting 1. The one's done on both sides now. Oh, seems to be a bit of lag. 52 is now behind them. And they do jump. Couldn't make it out in time.
Both teams seem to have a very short range comp here, so
Yeah, like the only thing they have for range is Hydra, and then on the other team, the only thing they have for range is X-Blow. And 3 are now down on both sides.
and it is a 1v1.
Who will win? Seems to be, I mean, you never know. There's Reef coming out, but more jump does get the cap here. 52 looking to get 1, finds 1, but the X-Blow is already waiting for them and kills them.
Yeah, yellow does seem to have a lot more AoE than more jump here, so we'll see how that comes into play.
Yeah, I also forgot to mention, I didn't even notice it at first, but more jump does have double bubble happening with the Kraken and a whale, so they have basically only Kraken to get in. They have to rely on main weapon power here, like the 52, to really push in if they're stuck on the back foot.
That is a very important reef slider, but they just can't seem to capitalize off of it.
Yeah, 3 went down, and now it's already like the deaths just keep piling up as the more and more jump gets a greater hold. One of them does drop, seems to be the Dapple, Let's see if they can do anything with that drop. Another drops.
Oh, and 3 go down.
It seems they will be able to retake. Not only does more jump have double bubble, but ground breaking prop stars has double. They just have lots of zones cheese. Basically, they have double, triple splashdown. Then they have reef slider. The Dapple does seem to be pulling some attention, but the Kraken saw it and now it's dead.
Now the 52 going in. They live the splashdown, but they lose the lead.
One is down. It's the perfect time to push. 2 are now down, and this shot is just something's happened with them.
Some kind of connection issue. It's not good for them.
Somehow that splashdown kills that Hydra, and the blaster is looking to shred that bubble, and now there's 3 down. Let's see if they can kill that, and they do manage to kill it.
And the crowd seems to have overcome his internet issues and come back to the match.
Yep, there. Oh my, that's a nice splashdown cancel. 52 has no fear. Sees the splashdown, just goes right into it. They might get a quad here. Never mind, because the laggy shot, I do believe they would have gotten it. Never mind, they do.
And they do.
52 is on a rampage right now. They have aura. They're like basically unstoppable right now. I think this one is going to go to more jump. Because they have no splashdown. They have no reef slider. Yeah, never.
Oh.
Wait. Just 1 second too late. Pretty unfortunate if you're groundbreaking pop stars.
I mean, yeah, they tried their best at the end, but they just couldn't play fast enough for a special.
Yeah. The next one we're going to be seeing is Rainmaker Museum, which, I mean, it's pretty mid, if I would say so. The museum. I don't think there's going to be any comp switches, because both the things, it's been working for them. But they just came down to the fact that they had no specials at that last second when it mattered. So I think that this can go into 1-1 territory here.
Yeah, how do you think the weapons might open? Do you think there might be a flank on both sides?
Yeah, I feel like it's going to be guaranteed for at least one of them to go on the flank, like maybe the 52 or the Dapple, because there's weapons that can capitalize off that flank if you're not like paying attention to them enough.
Yeah, and that can really just be used to devastating effect if they can execute it properly.
Yeah. The game will be about to start now, so let's see if we were right.
And we do see the switch to strikes.
I think strikes is going to be helpful, but there's now 52 on both sides. One of them is opening Gambit, the other one does not. 2 go on the flank, and the 52 is the only one on the flank. And it seems to be a battle of 52s, and Dorado does manage to overcome the other 52. There's 1-1 on both sides. Both the gals are down.
Nice triple splashdown to knock him out.
Does seem to be a small connection issue. I saw where that 52 shot a bit, and that was not dead, but 52 staying in that wall, getting 1.
Oh.
They might get 2 here. They're just inside the plat. They do get 2, but they actually go down.
Yeah, that was a very nice play from Dorado.
Is that a quad from that junior? That's crazy. Junior has aura, they also have bubble. I think they can get check here. But the blaster is going behind them.
But he does go down.
2 are down on the side of more jump. And 1 is down. Well, now 1 is down on both sides. And the 52 is down, which is a crucial aspect in getting the check here. But this T-Tech is basically factored out of the equation right now. Spoke too soon there. It's got a double, maybe even a triple.
And the 52 just trying to take as much space as possible. And he still are 1 down.
Shoots through on both sides. There's only 2 people left. The 52 is looking to make something happen against that other 52. And they're going to triple splash down that. The 52 on Vaporeon. They're going to try something, and the 52 does get the better of them.
52 versus 52.
Yup, they do push it to 34, but it's going to be the end of that push, as Junior is not going to pick it up actually. But there's nothing that groundbreaking pop stars can do right now to get that Rainmaker.
Yeah, with the wall and the bubble down, they just can't seem to get through.
52 finds 1, but the triple splashdown kills the gal.
I think
And
they're down.
Yup. Oh my goodness. The 52 on the side of groundbreaking pop stars is just getting so much value right now. Getting 1, jumping. They're like just repositioning everywhere. Nothing can stop it right now. They're gonna get that Rainmaker. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, that 52 really seems to be their X factor right now.
Yeah, on both sides, honestly. They're the ones that's initiating everything.
52 seems to be sitting on the left, but waiting for something to happen.
In this match, whoever gets the 52 first, they're going to be at a major advantage. And right now, they have all 4 of their specials on more jump. So we're about to see now if it'll be enough.
Yeah, they're gonna have to rely on that Kraken for entry, but we'll see if it comes out.
The bubble does come out on the top of Spinner, but 1 is down on the side of the Rainmaker team, and 2 are now down. There's picks everywhere. And it's 2 to 3 right now in terms of players. 3 to 4. Oh my. This is what I'm talking about, the 52. The 52 is the one doing everything. They're making all the pushes. So if you're on the side of groundbreaking pop stars, the 52 is the main threat, needs to be dealt with before you can think of pushing back in.
Yeah, a 2-shot weapon like that can just be really threatening on both sides. So that should really be their priority on retake here.
But it does seem like they're gonna take it to the stall spot. With 30 seconds left, I mean, it's pretty smart. But yeah, I don't think it's going to be able to be enough for groundbreaking pop stars as they go away from the stall spot. But Vaporeon just trade on that 52.
Yeah, that is a very crucial trade, just to take out their 52 and hope that he doesn't make another push.
We're about to go into overtime here, where the bubble will not be used. They're -1 bubble, but they still do have that double bubble comp, as we saw earlier.
Will we see a flank to get the Rainmaker? Oh, 2 go down.
Is down. This could be the push. The 52 is trying. They miss. No, they did not miss. They actually got the pick after they died. And now it is 1-1. More jump. And versus groundbreaking pop star Seed 2 versus Seed 1.
Yeah, that play at the end by the 52 was just super important. 3 down on their side, and they just made stuff happen and got to pick on the Rainmaker.
Yeah, I mean, that's basically 52's purpose here. to do just that. And the next one we're about to see is Tower Control Undertow Spillway.
And I know we talked about earlier about the importance of specials like GG Booyah and GG Strike. Do you think we will continue to see the strike on the side of groundbreaking pop stars?
Yeah, it seemed to be working for them even on a game where strikes is not as important being Rainmaker. So yeah, I think they're going to keep strikes. I think both might stay exactly the same in terms of comp.
Yeah, I think that was a very wise decision to switch from Dapple to 52, as that really won the game there.
Yeah. What do you think will win in this Seed 1 versus Seed 2 matchup?
I mean, I really don't know here. It's just been so close. I think just whoever can hold space the best with their 52, and that'll really decide the outcome.
Yeah, it's really the battle of the 52 gals here. The opening for both sides will be very important, but especially more and more jump. Their 52 has opening gambit.
And we do see the S-Blast come out, giving them a more ranged option.
We do also see the switch from Hydra to Heavy, which gives them a bit more paint and gives them Wave Breaker, but they have 4 shooters, and they have 3 shooters, so I mean, I guess it was just more of a preference, but the 52 making the most of opening gambit, getting one, but getting taken out instantly. 2 down on the side of groundbreaking pop stars.
And they do hold the Kraken. Will they decide to go to the tower?
That might seem like it, as more and more jump will be pushing in, but one goes down on both sides. The 52 is on tower, on left now, trying to make something happen, but they get taken out.
And 2 go down.
You know, I didn't realize it before, but now they only have 1 bubble when they could have had either 2 or Booyah. So they must be really confident in Heavy to switch off of 2 potential options. That would be great on tower specifically.
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just really relying on their paint gear to get them through the match.
Yeah, I think groundbreaking pop stars, they have like 2 decent painting options, and then they have 1 good painting option. They have yeah, and then the S-Blast is there for the aggressiveness. So we're about to see if it'll be enough, as the Kraken does come out on more and more jump, looking to get that X-Blow, finds the X-Blow. 3 are now down, and just like that, more and more jump has regained control.
Yeah, groundbreaking pop stars just can't seem to get past mid here.
Yeah, speaking of that, the S-Blast does go down, but 1 is now down, and now the T-Tech goes down, but the Heavy goes down. So much people are going down. Another trade. The S-Blast tries but fails because of that bubble weakening.
Yeah, that bubble has been super important for them throughout this whole match.
Yeah. And now the Kraken gets 1. They're looking to go into the base, but they have to retreat because they have no time left. I'm just kidding. They do get 1 with that burst bomb. This Kraken is just being the savior of the game right now. They're gonna find that Kraken. They're gonna find the S-Blast, but they do go down.
Yeah, that push was really important to shut down the tri-strike so they couldn't get to the tower.
Yeah, like what happens here is they get lead, right? Or they get control. And then one of them, either the Kraken or the 52, they go in and they get 2, or they get like 1, and they get lots of value off of that, and it stops them. It stops groundbreaking pop stars from really making any pushes because they just don't have any specials to keep dying.
2 will go down. Will this be a save something in the game?
52 versus S-Blast, and they just get 2v1. And now the shot has aura. They do try to ride, but it's a 3v1 in mid, and they do get a trade, surprisingly.
Yeah, groundbreaking pop stars just seems to be constantly 2 down.
Yeah. I think it's because they're not really trying to take fights together. Like, I just saw that S-Blast go in against the shot, and there was nobody there to support them. So I think if they play together, they could make something happen here.
And 1 goes down, 2 go down, and I think they're just trying to hold their specials here for the last moments of the match.
Yeah, 3 versus 2, but they do have both their specials, as you said. They just lost Kraken, and it might be vital.
We do see that they are holding 2 specials, and 1 comes out.
Yeah, but Vaporeon's looking behind. An early splashdown comes out. There's Kraken, and that will be it for round 2 of the gold bracket. Seed 1 versus Seed 2. Seed 2 wins.
Yeah, it was a really close match, but groundbreaking pop stars just couldn't seem to play together on that last match.
Yeah, if they had coordinated more, they could have won.
And the 2 seed might be scratching their heads now, thinking, why weren't we the 1 seed?
I heard the seeding was a little bit off this time around, so maybe that's why. But we're going to be going straight into semis here, which will be Pocket Aces, which we saw before, versus the Boats versus Seed 16. Surprisingly, but it's me, Seed 15 versus Seed 16. I got the Boats winning this. Who do you got?
Yeah, I think the Boats have had a really strong run so far, getting a bye in their first round. I think they could definitely make something happen here.
Yeah, they got Milk Cup winners. They've got people who got third at Low Ink. I think the Boats are going to take this pretty easily. Okay. Okay. Like I said, Seed 15 versus Seed 16. We're gonna open off Black Zone's Mako Mark. What do you expect to see on this map, Veggie, opening up?
Yeah, I mean, we'll just see. There's a 52 on either one, but we'll see.
Yeah, in that last set, there was like, we said 52 like a bunch of times. But we do know that the decav is very good on pocket aces. But the boats, from their results alone, I think they'll be able to take this.
Yeah, we'll just see if they can replicate that previous success they had.
Yeah. On zones Mako, what's important on retake on this map is opening or is taking it from left. Because right retakes, from what I've seen, they don't work unless you're mechanically gifted enough to get a pick from dropping on that ledge.
I think we might see the decav attempting that a couple times on that retake.
Yeah, decaf is a weapon that can just do that sometimes.
We'll see. The boats might have been watching some film on pocket aces, looking at the comp from the previous matches, so they might have them figured out.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, because the boats, yeah, pocket aces do not have that advantage.
And with the match starting soon, we'll see if pocket aces decides to change the comp a little bit from last set, or if they try to stick with what works.
Yup. I think the boats has a pen, well, not a pen but a bow, and then that's all I really know about them from what I've seen.
Yeah, I don't know too much about them either, but we'll see how they can do in this match. And we do see a 52.
I would hate to be on the other side. I would hate to be pocket aces right now. 52, E-leader, yeah, one is already down. The mini is looking to paint zone. It looks like that leader is holding left pretty well there. With just that laser denying the side of line from there. The 52 does take left stack with the whale coming out. Seems they'll be able to get this pro. They do. Pro.
Yeah, 52 and leader really just seem to be two of the most oppressive weapons in this current map.
Yeah, and then when you combine that with Octobrush and Dapples, I mean, as a Stamper player, it's pretty annoying to fight.
Pocket aces that decide to go clueless here. Just
They do-
interesting.
Yeah. And they do have Kraken and they do pop it, but that's not enough for them to retake zone as Pocket Ace is now in control. Doesn't look like for long as the brush finds one, and it's now just a forge on left stack, but it was a 2v1.
Pocket aces just trying to find their way back into mid here. That hammer could come into play, but they did not get a pick.
Yeah, and that Dapple just runs around them and gets them, but luckily Blaster is basically made to counter Dapple if you really look at it, because Dapple is supposed to be mobility and Blaster is just anti-mobility, anti-fun. We will see zone cap from the side of the boats once again to regain control. Does not let them have that penalty.
Oh, and if Pocket Aces doesn't get a special out, looks like this could be a lost cause.
Yeah, the Mini's trying. Mini is very good at painting, but it's not enough, and the Boats takes game 1 of semifinals.
Yeah, it just seems like Pocket Aces got locked out really bad at the end there, and they couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, that was a very dominant game for the Boats. Or we might see more of that in Clan Blitz Museum, which museum is a pretty good map, especially on clams. So we'll have to see if there will be any comp switches.
You think they might want to take out a cooler to help them retake faster?
Yeah, I think cooler will be pretty useful, especially for this one. It'll make the decav able to do more aggressive things. But I don't play that much decav, but that comp that the boats has seems pretty bad for it.
Yeah, the boats just seem to have like every counter for them. They couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, we're about to see it again very shortly. I think that if Pocket Aces really tries their best and starts coordinating better, they could make something happen. They could take one game off of them.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen how important teamwork can be, especially when taking fights. So we'll see if Pocket Aces can try to work together a little bit better.
Yeah, we saw it all the time in that last set. It would seem we're about to see it right now as we go into Clan Blitz Museum. Do you think anyone's gonna go on the flank?
I think we could see the decav try that with their switch to ink brush, giving them a little bit more mobility.
Yup, decav does go on the flank, and just flanks on both sides, really. The leader goes on the flank, which is something I've never thought I'd see, and they have to jump out instantly, and the 52 and decav now trade.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen that before either. That was an unorthodox opening, but they didn't seem to really get punished for it.
Yeah, but it seems Pocket Ace is going to be pushing deep here, even though one goes down. They do have 14 clams, and decav goes down, but they still have all of their clams. Now have a ball, but 52 is right there to stop it, and they're just getting pincered right now. They do get a jump on it, but Dread does manage to find one going left. Or is that decav? It is decav. Oh, no.
That was a crazy snipe by that Ultra Stamp.
Yeah, Ultra Stamper is definitely the right play. We're now seeing one down on both sides, two down on Pocket Aces. The Reef comes out, finds no one, and gets punished. And now the Dapple has Aura. There's nothing this Bull can do but run back. One is now down. They're going to be making a counter attack here. They have a ball. They've got one. They have Ultra Stamp. There seems we're going to be seeing a push here.
Yeah, and when the leader gets set up there, there's not really much you can do.
Fortunately, they miss a ball, and the brush is now down. But the decav is also down, and I think they'll be able to get it. No. Yes, they do manage to get the ball in, but the other one's left behind. I spoke too soon. It's now in. He's running behind them, and he does jump out. It's a very good jump, especially because he had cooler.
Yeah, I think we really do see the importance of cooler there. And maybe Pocket Aces wish they could have brought one out.
Yeah, they still do have a couple more games to pull out cooler, but I think they've made up their mind that they don't need it to win. And we'll see, maybe they don't need it to win. You can see that decav is sharking up behind that left block, kinda. The wave comes out because that leader just knows something's up. And the Dapple does go down.
Yeah, the boats don't really have to push anymore. They just need to play good defense.
Yeah, like when one goes down, as I said, that 3 just went down. But for Pocket Aces, when one goes down, they did take mid, which was nice to see. But a failed squid roll into their plat, and then everything kind of fell apart there.
an interesting position to take for the bow. Will they get any value from it?
I mean, it seems to be working pretty well, except for that hammer. But we now, in this game, we've actually seen both the leader and the ball, both back lines taking the flank, which is something you'd expect front lines to do, but no, the back lines do it. They do jump a ball, but it's 2 down. I think the push is dead here. Yeah.
And they just can't seem to get any momentum from these pushes.
Yeah, but then Decav seems to be just throwing himself at it, which what I would have done is jump out and then we could have reset it in mid. But look, see, the Decav is going on flank. That's not flank, it's their flank. But that 52 is sharking and they do get 1 in that ink. There's nothing you can really do against that. They seem to be distracting this ball holder, but not for long.
Yeah, that 52 really does have such a quick kill time. You take your eyes off it for 1 second and you're dead.
It does seem to be there's almost 4 balls in rotation for there's 4 balls in rotation for the boats right now. The Booyah comes out. They're looking to solo push it in. They make it, but there's no one else there to capitalize off of it. The decav goes down, and that just gave the boats their like 5th football.
And Pocket Ace is just trying to hold on to that ball, but they do go 2 down.
The Dapper does rush down that football holder and gets 1. They try to save the ball, but they do get picked off. I think that's going to be it as a ball goes in from the brush. Wow. That will be game 2 of semifinals.
Yeah, and there I think we really just saw the dominance of that leader and the 52 just holding space really well and not letting them through.
Yeah, those are just like one of the strongest weapons right now, 52 and leader, and when you combine them along with ink brush on clan blitz especially, it leads to good things for you, bad things for them. But we're about to see if they're gonna go back on Octo Brush now for TC Inkblood Art Academy. What do you think's gonna happen on this map?
I think that we're definitely gonna see the continuance of that Booyah from the pro, and I think we can probably anticipate a flank on opening from that 52.
Yeah, on this map, taking the bats is very important, and the 52. And Dapple is going to be very good at that. And then on this map, at least on zones, but E-Leader is very good on this map. So things seem to be stacked in the favor of the boats right now. But you never know. As we do see the Booyah sword, we love to see it. You don't see sword that often that much. But we do see Inkline, Forge, Booyah, and then Vanilla Mini on the side of Pocket Aces. Let's hope if the Booyah sword over Decaf can make a big difference.
Yeah, double Booyah isn't a choice you see too often. Let's see how they can use that to their advantage.
Everyone's fighting on left. The sword gets 1 that wouldn't have been possible with Decaf. And the sword is applying lots of pressure right now, which is kind of what sword does, but the hammer does get sniped out. And there's nothing you can do when a brush is rushing you down. So unfortunately the wipeout gets taken. And now the Kraken comes into their bats, which invalidates them from having it. Never mind to get charged off, but still, for that short amount of time, bats was inaccessible.
Yeah, that was a really huge Kraken. Just completely pushing them back all the way back to their base.
Yeah, that sword looks to be trying something, but unfortunately they die. The Forge gets 1. They see the beacon, it's gone now. And now, it seems to be going back into a mid-fight as the Mini does go down. And they do see that 52 just barely out of their ink there.
Yeah, I'm surprised. I'm really surprised they lived that. Good work by the 52 getting away.
Yeah, the sword can't really do anything. Nothing can do anything when 52 is chasing you. And they get one, they get two. Looking to get that bow as well. But the mini does stop it in time. Looking to be their knight in shining armor, but they do get taken out by that leader.
Yeah, Pocket Aces does seem to have a bit more range than them, but doesn't really seem to be working towards their advantage.
The sword is sharking, but something weird happens and they have to use more shots than usual, which leads to that 52 taking advantage, and they do get it. Now, I said this before the match started, the Dapple is going to be really strong on bats, but it does get taken out instantly before anything can happen that's good for them. The bow seems to be spamming AoE, which is working quite a lot for them, getting that Dapple and then invalidating the other weapon that's on there. It's just the Dapple. Can they get one? They get one. The sword is trying to kill them. They don't manage to do it, and now they're all back in bats. And control is still in the favor of the bolts as the brush gets one, looking to get two, and they don't get two. I don't know how. It looks like they shot 4 times.
And Pocket Ace is just trying to get them out of their bats, and they do succeed.
Yeah, they do unfortunately go down the wave breaker, but it's gonna be fine here. But the bolts still just have overall map control. Looking to drop from right, which is not something you see often. And they do get one. The Booyah comes out. They're pushing them out of mid. This is very good, but the brush kills one, and the Forge gets it. They can't manage to get the Dapple, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, they just haven't really gotten any points since the start of the match. Both have just been completely dominating them.
Yeah, we do see that sword trying to get the Dapple, but as a sword player, it's not really a winning matchup in close range to be fighting a Dapple. But I spoke too soon. I spoke too soon again. His teammates were there to pick up the slack.
Yeah, I think we've seen a lot of good team fights on the side of boats.
Yeah. So when one goes down, they're already there. And but even then when one goes down, they already have cooler. So they're just back instantly. So their deaths are much more. They have much more deaths that they can expend compared to Pocket Aces with their coolerless comp.
Another cooler does come out.
Honestly, from this performance, I think that the Bolts, if they play right, will be able to win the whole tournament if they're beating Pocket Aces right now, which would be Seed 3.
Yeah, I think they're using really powerful weapons in the meta, but using them really well and using them really effectively.
Yeah, the Inkjet comes out, but it's nothing you can really do. There's only Booyah left, but the sword gets on the tower. They Booyah, and the Dapple does not get on. This could be a chance for a comeback right now. The seems like that Brush is trying, it doesn't work. This is very good right now if you're on Pocket Aces, but they do get wiped. Unfortunately, they will be eliminated.
Yeah, it seems like Pocket Aces tried to revive them old selves from the past set, but they just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, I think it's more of just to show the dominance of those weapons and the dominance of the boats in general.
Yeah, they definitely pulled off many upsets against higher seeds.
Yeah, in the sets we just casted, the lower seed has won, at least in gold bracket, because seed 16 beat 15 and then seed 2 beat seed 1. And I think we might be able to see more and more jump versus the Bolts in the finals of gold bracket. Welcome back to Shopping Spree 11. For the grand finals of the golden bracket, we have the Bolts, which we just saw earlier against More Jump Seed 2, who beat Seed 1. And we're now about to see who's going to win. Both of these comps have a 52 gal. Once again, this is just 52 field tournament. It looks like everywhere 52. Veggie, what do you think is going to happen on this first map, which is Zone Taggle?
I think that 52 is definitely going to open on the left stack, try to put a wall down, prevent them from taking as much space.
Yeah, I think 52 really good at doing that. I'll continue.
And I also think that they're going to have a lot of paint on the zone from all those painting shooters that they have.
Yeah, they do have 3 of those, which will be very helpful. They also have a heavy or Hydra, and Hydra is really their only backline. It's their only long-range weapon, and heavy lets them have much more paint than they would before, but also gives them basically a special that does nothing, because Wave Breaker is not very useful in terms of like retaking or holds. It's only useful for location.
I mean, yeah, and the Boats have only dropped 1 game all tournament and 0 in the knockout stages, so we'll see if they can try to replicate that in the finals.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to do it. I think the Bolts will be able to win this because they're a very good team.
Yeah, I agree. I think the seeding really doesn't do them justice here. They've had a really good run all throughout the tourney, and they've really proved that they're just one of the contenders to win it.
Yeah. I think we're going to see pretty similar comps on both sides from what we saw earlier.
Yeah, I think we're definitely going to see 52 on both sides, but we'll see how the match plays out. Oh, but there is a disconnection.
Alright, so the match will not be starting yet, but we do see the heavy instead of the Hydra, and doesn't seem like either are going to be changing, but there is a disconnect.
More Jump has to be careful here, because if they have another disconnection, then they drop the game.
Yeah, or they have to just play 3v4, and I don't think anybody wants to play a 3v4.
Yeah, those are not fun.
I mean, 3v4s can be good. I won a 3v4 one time, but then they canceled the match. But off topic, now we're actually going to go into the match this time. No disconnects, 4v4 right now.
We do see the same paint heavy comp come out on the side of More Jump.
Yeah, we do see opening Gambit 52 that gets taken out immediately. So now it's a 3v4, and the Dapples looks to be playing on under their right ledge for them, and they can't do anything really with it. But they're going to be trying again, placing a beacon there. I think they're going to try for the flank, and they do get just 2 down. This is a very good start for the Bolts, even though they don't have cap right now.
Yeah, I think it's really interesting that both teams decided to pick Kraken weapons, since that isn't really the strongest special in the current meta.
They're just really confident in their Krakens, it seems like. And it seems to be getting them lots of value, because it does get 1 and then it manages to deposition that leader, which stops them from getting any sort of value in that time frame.
Yeah, this leader is just really doing a really good job of denying them space, even though they did have 2 down earlier. They could not advance.
Yeah. Now they do have cooler. There's cooler on the side of the boats, and they will be seem to be using it to the max as they're just playing a defensive, but should have been go in. But 52 gets one, but it's fine because they're back immediately. And that was a crazy shot. I didn't even see where they were.
Yeah, what a snipe. Looked like the leader had X-ray vision there.
Yeah, there was so much visual clutter, couldn't really tell. But they will be capping the zone, it looks like. One is down on both sides. They can't get the cap off. 3 are down on the boats. The rush can't really do anything with 5. Yeah, that will be game 1 going to more jump.
I think that was a really miraculous comeback by more jump. I really didn't expect that from them.
Yeah, I expected this to be the boats game, but after this match, it might just be more jumps victory.
I think their paint really won them there because they just have 3 painting weapons that can do really well with painting the zone.
Yeah, and then next map is TC Ship Shake. We've seen a lot of Ship Shake today, but we're gonna see TC Ship Shake. And on this map, I mean, considering as the Hydra did not go on vanilla Hydra did not go on vanilla on TC 100, so I think they're gonna stay on heavy, or at the very least, go on the bubble Hydra. But what do you think's gonna happen on this map?
I think bubble would definitely be beneficial to them here, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't pick that, but we'll see.
No comp changes for more jump, or from. Oh, we do see vanilla Hydra this time around.
And I do think that was the right pick there because GG can just have such a big impact on the game.
Yeah, you sacrifice a bit of speed, but you gain range and you gain a GG special, which the Bolts has none of. But the 52 is trying to get that opening gambit continue, but they can't manage to find anybody. It's 1 down. 52 is doing work. There's that junior that has to retreat, unfortunately, and now the control is going into the Bolts. Very different opening from last time. The Dapple finds one, the Kraken. Kraken versus Kraken, nobody's the winner. Whoever runs out first will be losing this. And 2 are now down, but none of them are the Kraken.
Yeah, this Dapples is really doing a good job of pushing them back and just denying their retake.
Yeah, the Dapple. I was about to say the Dapple got one, and then the Octobrush took its place, but the Octobrush went down, is back fast because of that cooler, and now it's 52 versus 52. They can't find the brush, which will continue the push for them. They pop Kraken, and now I think this game just shows the power of cooler because they eliminated lots of them. They were back just immediately from that cooler, and more jumps deaths just have much more meaning than the Bolts deaths, as I said earlier.
Yeah, they lose a lot of momentum if they go down without cooler, so it's definitely been an important factor for their success.
Yeah, it's kind of shaping the way they're playing. They can't really go in because normally you would have to like get specials away for cooler, but they only have really Booyah and Kraken to handle that job of the tower keeping. Because Whale, that was a nice jump camp, and now they have Aura, which we're about to see them flank. Maybe they'll manage to get one here.
Good job by the other 52, realizing that flank and keeping them from wreaking havoc on their backline.
Yeah, in 52 mirror match is just about who gets the first jump on them. As we saw there, Vaporeon won it that time.
And Rosalia is just denying them the entire right side. They can't really advance much.
Yeah, on this map, a deep push to the third checkpoint, that's what's gonna win you the game there. Because it's very hard to get points once you're already in a deficit by that time. But we might see it happen. That dapple does get 2, which is very crucial. The push will be stopped right now.
And that is a death push. Really good defense being played by them.
Yeah, but 2 they do manage to go down with the leader and 52 being left. Now, it's going to be time for more and more jumps, get another push in, but it does seem to be stalled by the 52 on the side of the boats with their cooler. And they're looking to fight this junior. And 52 versus junior, the junior wins. Or not, the 52 wins most of the time, if I would say something about it.
And the boats just playing good defense while more and more jump is trying to make something happen, but their specials can't really do much here.
Yeah, they're just individually getting picked, and then they can't really get any sort of push from that. As we just saw there, backline versus backline, and leader does take it. They are even respawn punished, so their deaths are now super impactful.
We do see a little sneak by Adley here, but they decide to go back and hunt down the other 52.
And 52 trade does come out.
Yeah, I think the boats just don't really have any reason to push here. They just need to try to get a special on the tower and just prevent them from pushing.
Speaking of special, the Kraken tried to get on the tower to stop them from overtime, but this game is not over yet, because really the only special that the boats has to like GG them is really that Kraken. But oh my goodness, the Steamers here to take lead. Never mind.
Oh,
That was nerve-wracking if you're on more and more jump. Wow.
losing by 1 point, that's really brutal, but I think that was probably the outcome that was illustrated by the whole game, because the boats just weren't dominant the whole time.
Yeah. Okay. We're gonna go into the next one, which is going to be Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge. What do you think's gonna happen on this map?
I don't think we're going to see as many flanks as other maps, but I definitely think we're going to see more duels with the 52s.
Yeah, flanks are what win you the game, especially in clams, but just in this set, the people who are flanking are normally the people who are winning. Like, if you flank more, especially with 52, you can't really remove it that easily, then it's going to be a problem for your team. And Clan Blitz Scorch Gorge is not all about flanks, but what's important is pushing into ramp.
Yeah, 52 is just so self-sufficient, you can't really do anything against it if it takes a good flank.
Yeah. Like, that's why it's so strong right now. It's pretty strong individually and a pretty good main weapon. And now we're about to see, we do see the ink brush come out, and we do see the heavy splatling come out. So now, this is just Clan Blitz mode for both of those teams.
Apple trying to get an early cooler, and they do. I think that's really important for just setting the tone of the match.
Yeah. The Dapple does collapse onto that one person, which gives them a numbers advantage. But one is already down, and it's a trade. The Dapple killed that shot so much later, or so much earlier, and the 52 is already back because of that early cooler, which I've already said it before, but it just helps so much, especially for their aggressive comp. And pretty short range too, except for that leader.
The wave does come out, but can't seem to get much value from him.
If you were on the side of more jump, what would you need to win right now, Veggie? What would you be thinking about, and what plays would you be making?
I think that I would definitely be thinking about how to push up with that Kraken and try to take some space with that, or try to get some pain in with the heavy.
Yeah, I don't know much about Kraken, but I'll probably do the same and use it to stop that leader, which keeps getting value from just pointing its laser around. I do say that as push happens to be on the side of the boats and they do get 71, they're gonna push it a bit further there, getting more in, especially with that brush. They don't make any more, and sadly.
But good job on the side of one more jump there, just preventing that push from happening any further.
In my opinion, Scorch is really just hold on. I actually need to switch the scene. But as I was saying, Scorch is pretty back and forth in my opinion. And basically, yeah, it's back and forth quite a lot.
Ooh, nice snipe from the leader.
Yeah. Another one. Oh,
This leader is on fire.
3. That's just crazy. They already have aura. Backline having aura, you don't see that every day.
Yeah, I mean, not much the heavy it can do because it's just completely outranged by that leader.
Yeah. It seems like the match is not being broadcasted. It's just like our voices right now. So we just have to like describe it, kind of.
Okay, well, the leader just seems to have a target on their back the whole game now.
Yeah. I mean, that's what you do when you got a backline. You want to take care of it. One is down now. And they're back immediately.
And more jump just seems to be completely confined to their plat. Can't really get past it. You
Yeah.
can see that leader just holding all sides.
That's the thing about leader. It has its laser there, and then it doesn't even have to hit its shots. But it does hit its shots. That's the thing. It doesn't even have to hit its shots, and its presence is just so oppressive and dominating on the field. Now more jump is gonna have 3 footballs to push in, cause the ink brush put in another pity. So now they have 3 footballs, but the score is 100 to 24. So they're gonna need 4 if they wanted to make a lead here. They have 30 seconds left.
Three balls, but that also makes them completely visible. And the leader can really take advantage of that here.
Speaking of 3, they now have 4 balls, but their push is getting stopped by that 52, who now has opening gambit. And it's 52 versus 52, but it looks like they disengaged. And I think that it's too late for more jumps to get another push in. The score is 100 to 24 still. And yeah, the bubble gets shortened. And I think that's gonna be it for game 3 of Shopping Spree, the final.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like each team has their different strengths on different modes. So we'll see based on the next matchup how each team will fare.
Yeah. The next one is Rainmaker Undertow, which is Rainmaker Undertow. Like, it's pretty good, but also if you go down, you're going to be at a struggle because they're just gonna take it right, and then they're gonna win. Most likely, they're not gonna win. They're gonna get a free check because you can't really get there in time. And that's why I think on this one, cooler is gonna be much more important. But I don't think we're gonna see it even still on the side of more jump.
Yeah, I think More Jump definitely has a lot of faith in their comp. So I think it's unlikely that they're going to change it too.
What do you think? What do you think More Jump needs to do to make this 2-2 right now?
I definitely think More Jump needs some kind of tool to get rid of that leader, like a missile or something of that nature, just to get the leader out of position so they can't get as many sidelines on them.
I think what they need, they pretty much need missiles. But I think we won't be seeing a comp change because it's been working, but in that match, the Bolts just had really good defense.
Yeah, once that leader got set up, you just really couldn't take them off.
Yeah. We might actually see something different though. I think we're gonna see a switch back to a Hydra of any sort. But if I'm 2-1, it's probably, and looking at that last game, I would say like we need to try something new because what we were doing before is not working. But we're about to see if they're gonna switch up anything, if they have faith in themselves.
And we see the exact same call.
They have 2 object shredders, and both of the 52s have opening gambit. So whichever one gets picked first is going to be in a much better state.
Yeah, that Junior's just really using their sub-saber to their advantage, trying to set out as many bombs as possible.
Yeah, it seems like now the Bulls does have control right now, but 52 looks to be trying something. But I don't think they'll be able to do something as both of the shooters, the aggressive shooters, are sharpening, but one of them does have Kraken, so they might pop it right now or soon.
It was a nice maneuver to avoid that wave breaker, but will we see a Kraken on the flank?
I was saying before they do jump to a different position, but I was saying before that making sure that you have someone for that check. Right check is very important. The Kraken does come out. They were saving it. They do get a double. That is just impeccable Kraken gameplay from the burst bomb shot here.
Yeah, we've definitely seen a lot of nice Krakens this journey. You don't really see that too often.
Yeah, this is the most Krakens I've ever seen. But as I say that, this is like just a crazy leader. If you're caught in a bad position, they'll punish you immediately, as we saw before when they got that triple in Scorched Clams.
You see, they do try to go left, but help is there.
Yeah, the cooler does not seem to be bothering them if they have a Kraken to do stuff and they have the 52 to go in and disrupt everything. It's just the E-leader. They have to jump out and they lose the lead. Now, they have cooler. They don't have cooler. They have aura, they have check. This could be something. You might see them bigger push, but I don't think so. Oh, they all got pushed out.
Yeah, with only a 5-point lead, they just really need to be careful.
Yeah, you can't really play defensive just yet with just 5 points.
The good trade by the 52, shutting down their cooler option, but they are back fast.
Yeah, and the check already is back on the boat side, and the 52 shuts down that dapple trying to go, but they lose lead, and now it's a 15-point deficit. The 52 versus 52. Adley gets the jump first and wins that interaction.
A nice little fadeaway, and they do. Oh, and they do not. They go down.
Pretty interesting stuff here. 45. I feel like you could play defensive for 45 with 1 minute 30 left. This might be the final game of the tournament if More Jump doesn't think of something fast.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Once you get to that choke, it's just hard to get by unless you have a lot of specials.
Yeah, and they don't really. I mean, they have bubble, but I haven't seen the bubble yet for their pushes. Maybe I just haven't been paying attention, but I haven't really seen any bubble. I've just only seen Kraken. But as I say that, 2 are now down. The beacon gets taken out. The wave breaker's out. They have bubble, as I was saying. They pop it a bit early, but we might get to see a lead overturn here. 52.
Nice bubble there.
Yeah, yep. 50, 48, and they do get the lead, pushing it. Oh my, they might not. 1. That's game. That's game. I don't think they can be able to come back from this. They do knock it out. Wow. 2-2. Game 5 of finals. We're about to see something crazy happen right now on Splat Zone's Ramen.
Yeah, more jump. I think they might have a little bit of an advantage there with their paint heavy comp. So we'll see how that plays out.
Yeah. What do you think? Do you think there's gonna be any comp switches on either side?
I think that more jump is definitely going to stick with their paint comp because that will just help them keep the zone really well. But I think we might see the ink brush come out instead of the octobrush here.
Yeah. Actually, I think they could stay here because Kraken is. I don't know if it's good, but it's not bad on this map, Robo Ramen. If you're more jump, what would you have to do to get this game 5 of the finals? What do you think you would have to do here to win it all?
Well, I think they definitely just need to keep paint on the zone as much as they can because they really have the advantage there. And then just try to catch them off guard with some flanks.
Yeah, they also need to be taking 2v1s and playing for life. Basically, almost the whole time because their lives, they have no cooler, so their lives are going to matter much more. But I think it's possible for either team to win this. We'll just have to see.
And we'll see if there's any changes in the comps.
Yep. My leader on this map is pretty strong. But all we do see is that the nouveau Octobrush? Yes, it is. See, NZAP, there's no more 52. They're trying something completely new this time. They do now have cooler. They still have cooler, but now they have Reef Slider. This completely special change. And speaking of cooler, it's already up. So this is going to be very interesting to watch.
Oh, what a reef slider there.
Oh my, delayed wipe. More jump is being put on the back foot here. They have E-Leader, they have just this NZAP too gives them more mobility and gives them less fighting power, but does make up for it with that torpedo and reef slider.
They do go 2 down. that Kraken definitely having a part in it.
Yep. Oh, they did lose the Kraken, so I don't know. The rain does not seem as useful, if I'm to be honest, as Kraken, as they do manage to go down. And it now looks like more and more jumps gonna get a bit of a lead here. Or not a lead with Cat, but it seems I spoke way too soon. These two are now down, and everyone is already back because of that cooler, which is going to be crucial for the rest of this 3 minutes and 30 seconds.
A little skirmish happening on the left side of the map. And one more jump does win it.
Yep, just because the power of that 52. They are going to go in, even without they can get work done. Oh my, they have ore now. They're popping way on this one guy. It's the NZAP. They're the one that has the cooler. They're controlling the game right now. And they do get taken out. But it was just a bit too early because they're back with their cooler.
Yeah, and what a play we saw by that 52, just changing the pace of the game completely.
Yeah, this is really anyone's game. The control has been teetering back and forth here. As two are down on the boats, and they have pretty low amount of time to make a push, but three are down just as I say that. Oh my goodness.
What a
The
snipe.
to jump.
They do have quite a big penalty, so even if they do retake the zone, there's no guarantee that they'll keep it.
Yeah, bro, what? This is just one down on both sides. And they do somehow manage to get that trade because the whale. And just when you think that the boats is done, they get a triple and they're back in the game. And the shot does get one. They're fighting on the trench, but one of them goes down. And I don't think they'll be able to get a retake here.
And one more jump, just they might be in panic mode now, seeing the score tick down. They really need to make something happen.
Yeah, I think they'll be able to cap here though. One's down on both sides, no more reef. And they do manage to cap. That's very crucial. And they just now need to play a very good hold here. And I think it's possible.
Yeah, I think that just the paint heaviness of their comp really showed there.
But as we say that, the E-Leader and the Dapple just working together long and short range to get picks and making them. Now they only have about, I'd say, 30, not 30, more like 20, but they have 20 seconds left until they can take lead and get rid of the penalty. But the Kraken comes in and gets through. Oh my goodness. What an amazing Kraken there. That was just exquisite plays. And the brush gets two. There's two down on both sides. The E-Leader is trying to get some shots in, but nobody's dying.
4-point lead, but anything can happen here.
There's 35 seconds left. It's anyone's game. We have Reef Slider. It's being popped, but gets stopped by the wall, kind of. Vaporeon goes down. There's only about 15 seconds left, I would say, until lead is now in the hands of the boats. And they're playing a very good hole. I think they'll be able to get lead here. The Kraken now gets canceled. No, that will be the end.
That is a wipe.
Will be the winner of Shopping Spree number 11.
I was really just on the edge of my seat there.
Yeah, it was back and forth, and at one point in the set in general, it looks like that Mormor Jump could have taken it. This was really anyone's game though, but Mormor Jump just fell a bit short during the end there. Very entertaining, very wonderful.
Yeah, I think really good work by the boats there, not getting discouraged by that loss. Even though it was a knockout, just bringing their best towards the final match.
Yep, that will be the end now of Shopping Spree number 11. The the bolts will now be half banned. They have to win again to be super banned.